Welcome to the Nasty Labs podcast, part of the HyperX podcast network. We're the podcast from game studio Chuhai Labs, where we talk about games, game devs, Japan, and whatever else comes up. So as always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark. So open yourself up a Chuhai and let's go.
Let's go. Kinsey, Burke. All right, hold on. This is your first time at the studio. And you still wanted to do that intro.
We're still doing it. It's a thing now.
Hell yes.
When we're famous, someone's going to come up to you and be like, open yourself up a Chuhai
and let's go. Yeah, they will.
Happen.
Please. Kinsey, you made it. All right, this is what the whole episode's going to be about, by the way.
Basically,
this is the warning. How do we start an episode where it's like you come to Japan and we say welcome? How do you even start that?
I'm kind of tired.
Okay.
There was an earthquake this morning.
Oh, shit.
Or last night. Yes. And I was asleep.
You slept right through it.
Thanks, jet lag.
You've been here for how many days now? Let's set the record straight. Before we get to the long part where it took a million years to get here.
A million years.
Yeah.
I think this is what, day 5?
Yeah.
Sure, but I did land like super late on the first day.
Right.
That day's a wash. Let's call this day 4.
Okay, this is day 4. This is your third day of work at our office.
Ooh, so excited. I still can't believe it.
It's
friendship.
It's great having you here, and already I can see a lot of wacky fucking shit. Dude, this is our first episode together, and so it's gonna be a little weird, and it's gonna be a little friendly, and you're gonna see some inside baseball. All right,
gonna be a little friendly.
That's the way I kind of
get ready for that. And I also happen to arrive at a really exciting time for Curse to Golf.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Go on.
Curse to Golf was up with the Future Games Show demo for the last weekend, and then it was extended through this week because it's been amazing, people are loving it, and people are playing it, and we're so fucking excited because everyone on this team has worked so fucking hard, and I'm just so fucking proud of everybody.
Yeah, man, it's been huge. We've had a lot of people, and I think you can play it. As of right now, let's just go with it because we're probably going to extend it. But
heard it here first.
Yeah, probably going to. But if we didn't, hey, fuck off. But there's a leaderboard, and you can get on that thing, and you can win. We have some prizes, some merchandise, and codes of the game, some other shit like that. But not only that, we're going to be traveling to WASD in London next week to show the game, and then in 2 weeks we're going to be at PAX. Kinsey's not going to be there. Kinsey's going to be enjoying herself here in Japan.
I just did a lot of traveling.
More traveling.
It's your guys' turn.
Yeah.
And let's say the demo's not up right now. Just go to one of those events.
Yeah, just go to one of those events.
London, Boston, either one.
Send us money.
Both.
Yeah. Yeah. Do that. And it's we're pretty damn excited. So without further ado, let's kick off the first episode.
Yeah, Nasty Labs in person. What? And as always, we have a great episode for you guys. As always, we're going to start with What's Up, where we talk about what we're playing, main topic, which is probably more of this.
Right.
And then on to news, and then we'll answer your questions.
It's science.
Hey, it's time for an ad read. Kinsey.
New this April from HyperX. It's the HyperX Clutch Controller. Get better control of your mobile gaming with its comfortable grip, directional pad, like a D-pad? Directional pad, analog sticks. These are some great features, you guys, and shoulder buttons.
This versatile controller can fit a variety of phone widths. It's wide and can also connect wirelessly for use on tablets and PCs. Learn more and pick one up online at HyperX and HB.com, Amazon, Micro Center, Target, Best Buy, and many other fine retailers. Thank you, HyperX.
And now it's time for What Up, where we talk about what we're playing. And the biggest question on everybody's mind, Mark Lentz.
Shit.
What are you playing?
So, I'm going to tell you what I'm playing right now. I'm not playing anything Kinsey Burke. She did this fucking on purpose. Okay, but so I'm traveling next week to WASD, and in preparation for that, I have purchased Kirby and the Forgotten Land the full version of that. And I've also purchased Dark Souls. I've never played a Souls game ever, so I feel like if I'm going to play Elden Ring, if I'm going to do all these other things, I should probably start from the top, and that's what I've done. However, I'm not playing anything now, so shut up. And
have you ever wanted to hate yourself more on a plane? Introducing Dark Souls.
Oh, I didn't think about that. But like Kirby is the opposite, right? Isn't that like
totally.
Friend Souls? Like
friend Souls.
Like it's just you just suck some stuff and mouthful.
It's a different game.
Yes.
Friendship.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about Kirby actually. Even though I kind of bagged on it a little bit in the last podcast about playing the demo, about how it's too easy. I'm actually thinking that maybe for a flight, it's probably the perfect thing.
Yeah.
Just something easy, and I can listen to podcasts and zone out. I don't sleep well on flights. I know you don't either.
I don't either.
Yeah, so, I just need something to take my mind off the fact that I'm in a 100,000-pound piece of steel hurtling through the air that wants to crash at any moment.
Any moment.
Yeah, it's just ready, because physics don't want this thing to be in the air. Okay. I have issues with flights. My father is a pilot, as a matter of fact, and I still can't fucking. Okay. Anyway, Kinsey, Burke.
If it helps,
Yeah.
I was dogging on you for not playing anything, but the only reason I played something was because I was on a plane. So,
Okay. It helps.
It helps.
All right.
Because you can't sleep and you can't do nothing because or else you're going to just think about all the existential dread involved
You
in
are a
playing.
smelly pirate hooker.
That's what I got to say to that.
That's how I feel on planes.
All right. Yeah, that's no fair. And so just go ahead and tell me what the hell you're playing.
So I just got the Switch version of The Witcher 3 because I love The Witcher. I haven't played it in a number of years because I played it when it very first came out, which was some number of years ago, 5. And so it was the first time I've played since then. Mm-hmm. And I did the really smart thing of putting the cartridge in my Switch for the very first time on the flight.
Right.
So without downloading any updates.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to end well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started playing it, and it was great because I didn't realize how much of it I had forgotten already. Like, the Switch version is still The Witcher 3, and it has all the downloadable content, but it's the same game. And as I was playing it, I was just like, oh, I don't remember some of those. So I was really excited to be playing it. And since it doesn't have the patches, it had, at first, the perfect amount of jank.
Nice.
Like, in the very beginning, you have to, like, follow Vizimir to, like, find out information about Yennefer. And he gets on his horse, and there's no horse there. So then he's just, like, legs spread a little bit and, like, going through the air. And then he slowly, like, slumps down, and then he's in the ground doing the same thing. And I'm like, great. I love all.
We're here for this part,
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
Yeah.
And so I played for about 3 hours.
Yes, queen.
And I was, like, starting to, like, really get in the stride, where I'm like, I could play this the whole flight.
Right.
And I love that feeling because I rarely get it on planes because I hate flying.
Sure.
So I was really excited, and I was doing the quest where there's like a noon wraith, and you have to go down in the well, and then you have to like dive and get her bracelet thing and like all the things, and then the only way to get out of the well is to go to the other side of it and dive into another pool, and the like tunnel's underwater. That's how you get out.
Okay.
And the dive button didn't work. I couldn't dive. And that's like literally the only thing I had to do in that cave was dive.
Yeah.
So at first I cheesed it where like there was a rock I could like Skyrim my way up on that I could jump into. And then I was already underwater so I could get her bracelet. And I was like, great, I got it. And then the other part, I couldn't cheese it, and I tried real hard. And I was like, well, this is where this journey ends.
So you wound up not playing the game anymore after that?
That's where it stopped.
Okay.
And I did consider, like, seeing if I had an older save still and just, like, not doing that quest yet.
Right.
But I was kind of at that point where I was like, I'm just going to run into something else. Like, it can't possibly be that the only thing the, like, day one patch fixes is the, like, Bethesda-style jank and diving. There's no way. There's got to be something else. So I was like, you know what? All right. And I was defeated. But then I started playing the Kirby demo because you had talked about it on the last episode, so I was really excited to give it a try.
Right.
And I think that's the noise Kirby makes when he swallows the vending machine.
Right.
I think that's what it is. And I played on wild mode, I want to say, because I remember you saying it was easy, and that sounded basically like hard mode.
Sure.
And I have never really picked hard mode ever in my life.
Okay.
So I was like, this is going to be great. And then it was real easy. So it was fantastic. I think it was a good playing game, actually, because for that reason. And it was cute, and I liked the way, especially like the traffic cone powers, I really liked the way they integrated that into the world. And I like when Kirby eats the car because it's funny, because Mouthful Mode is the most hilarious name.
Yeah.
Especially to get out of Mouthful Mode, it's like hit Y to spit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's all we have to say. Well done, Nintendo.
Well done. I want to like shake the hand of whoever like localized that.
Yeah, I how did it get past? How on earth? And thank you. Thank you.
I'm here for it. And I really enjoyed the demo, and I really want to try it co-op. So hopefully my partner will play with me. He was asleep on the plane, that jackass. Like when you can't sleep and you're like, glad you can sleep. Like,
Douchebag.
Yeah. That's fucked up when people around you are sleeping on the plane. I think that's so unfair.
Right.
Like, I'm about to fly with Liam Edwards, and that guy just snores, and it's so fucked up, and I'm just sitting there uncomfortable playing like Castlevania or something.
One of my best friends who I've gone on numerous trips with, I swear, she sleeps as soon as the plane starts moving, and she doesn't wake up until the plane, either when there's food or drink involved, or when the plane starts landing.
So,
and I'm like, I can just take this little travel pillow and like, you want to sleep?
Is she the type that's like, yeah, all right, time to eat? Oh, God, I fucking hate those people.
It's great. It's great.
They're just like comfortable with themselves, and they don't have ADHD, and
they arrive somewhere feeling refreshed and great.
That's disgusting. That's disturbing.
I
honestly.
land and I look like a pile of nervous sweat. And I'm like, I just got off the plane. I got my air legs still.
So, back to Kirby there. Would you... So you played the demo on wild mode. Are you going to buy it? That's the real thing here.
I do want to buy it, mostly because I want to try co-op.
Okay.
So, hopefully soonish.
You said want to buy it. And I said, are you going to buy it? That was a little different.
It's a little different.
Like,
I'm going to full commit. Yes, I will buy Kirby.
Okay. All right. She's going to buy it. Nintendo, you heard it here first.
Friendship.
And I'm going to play the hell out of it. Let's make that the next game we talk about on the show.
We're going to have 3 weeks of Kirby.
3 weeks of Kirby. Well, now it'll be the fair one. We've both played the demo, and you're going to play it. You're going to play the game differently than I will. You're going to play it with your partner, and that'll be fun in its own way. And I'm going to play it on a fucking flight, alone, miserable. And we can both report and tell, like, I'm going to come back and be like, Kirby fucking saved my life. Like,
maybe you can play it like one of those Switch commercials where, like, you, like, prop up the little thing, and then you each get a Joy-Con on the plane.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
Oh,
yeah. Bros. No way. No, I'm going to sit there alone on my Switch Lite. It's like, leave me alone.
Well, like, I'm really looking forward to the next What Up segment because Mark Lentz will have actually played a game.
Oh, shit. That's fucking...
Friendship.
That's fucked up. That's what that is.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
By the way, we got a soundboard. And we're going to be using it quite extensively. If you have really stupid sounds of Kinsey Burke, send them to me at mark@vitae.com or mark@chuhailabs.com. Send me sound bites of her because fuck her. She's really fucking with my shit lately.
The Hardcore Gaming 101 podcast is on a mission to rank the top games of all time. I like the idea that when Bruce Wayne gets angry, he switches to the Batman voice.
Why do you have such a problem making Boomerang shaped like a bat? You mean like Batman? Not like Batman, just make it for me! Bruce Wayne, uncanny even with this guy.
It's a Herculean task, and I'd be lying if I said it hasn't taken a toll on our cognitive faculties.
Most people would be happy to have a job during a global pandemic. Dennis,
Hardcore Gaming 101, twice a week, every week, right here on the HyperX Podcast Network.
And now it's time for our weekly topic. And it's a pretty fucking exciting topic this time because did you know that it's Nasty Lab's 1 year anniversary? Our very first episode aired on March 27th, which is actually the day I arrived.
It's science.
That is, I'm ready. I'm excited. The fact that this is our sounds really fucking made up right now. It sounds like I'm phoning it in, but I actually am excited that this was our 1 year. We went a whole year of making podcasts, and it's the 1 year anniversary of you coming. You arrived on the 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of Nasty Labs.
Of Nasty Labs.
We got there.
yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, dude. 1 year of this show. It's kind of cool because we started the show back April 27th was our
March.
March. Whatever. Whatever. It was our that was our inaugural episode. But like you had been at the studio for what, 4 months, 5 months prior
Something
to that?
like that, yeah.
And I think we've spun up into something pretty cool. And like we went from being like all on our lonesome to being on the Greenlit podcast network to now being on the HyperX podcast network. I mean, come on. That's not too shabby.
No, we're like a real podcast.
We've had fucking guests from around the world.
Hell yeah, we've had some amazing guests in the last year. We've had like Kelsey Lewin, Chris Kohler, and a bunch of our friends from just right here in Kyoto.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people. It's been pretty cool, but that's fine and dandy. But why don't we talk about you arriving in Japan?
And it was a process.
Yeah, why don't we take me back to before you get on the flight and all the things you had to do and why this was so cumbersome like now, because for people that don't know, coming to Japan, not easy right now. So
no.
Take us back. What the fuck did you have to do?
I almost feel like it's not easy in general.
Sure.
And then throwing COVID in there as well just made it such a nightmare. And to make it even harder on myself, I have a cat.
And a husband.
And a husband.
You have like, you were like, how can I make this harder?
Yeah.
In every possible way.
It adds a lot of paperwork, surprisingly enough. And so not only was it, the whole process of immigration and getting the visa and everything you would like normally have to do, because I'm bringing a cat, that process started 2 years ago, actually.
2 years ago.
And lots of money. It was basically she had to go get a test, go into like this 180-day quarantine, and then right before we left, she had to have like a 10-day appointment, a 4-day appointment, like all of this shit. And had to like overnight these paperworks to some government office for them to put a stamp on and send back to me. It was a whole thing.
And this is all while you're working too.
Yeah, this is all while I'm working full time. And it doesn't I haven't even gotten to, being at the airport yet. And oh boy, is that a story.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. All right. How about we take a break on that and we go back even further. Kinsey, you've always wanted to move to Japan. Why don't we start there?
Yeah.
Like what was your passion? Why have you wanted to move here so badly? Give us that part, and then we can get the context of why this whole thing means so much to you.
I mean, I guess it kind of started because my grandfather was a pilot for Japan Airlines.
That's cool.
So my grandfather and my grandma would like always vacation in Japan, specifically Kyoto, actually.
Really?
Like my mom, since I got here, my mom's been like really obsessed with Kyoto, and she's been sending me pictures of my grandma and grandpa like when they would visit, and like how they loved Kyoto so much. And like after I graduated high school, like they always told me, once you graduate, we're gonna take you to Kyoto, but they both died before I graduated.
Right,
but like that's kind of where it started. And then I got really interested, of course, in video games. I've been interested in video games my entire life. And in junior high and high school, I became a very big anime weeb.
Sure.
And I took Japanese class, and I was in Japanese club and all of this shit, and it was fucking great. So it was kind of something I always wanted to do. And then when I went to college, I kind of had to decide if I wanted to major in Japanese or science, and I chose science, which was obviously the wrong choice because I'm obviously not doing science right now. But
well, okay.
But
yeah.
Fast forward, 12 years or whatever, and I finally made it.
Yeah. You did? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you kind of, when you took the job with us, you were like, we were like, dude, we're going to get you over here like right away.
Yeah.
And you probably were like, fuck all jobs. I'm quitting. Like, I'll hop over to the Chuhai Labs, and then like, if it fucking sucks, I'm out of here because I can just go work for somebody else because I'm in Japan now. Like, they got me through. That's what I would have thought. Like, that's what I've done in the past. That's the way it works. And, like, then COVID really struck, and they were like, no, it's good. You stay in the States for a while. Yep. And the fact that you stuck with it is just almost miraculous.
And there was so many, like non-starters when, like, oh, there's a rumor the border's going to open this day or whatever. That happened several times.
Right.
And then when the border did open the first time, it closed 2 weeks later. So there's a lot of that, and thank God my landlord was nice, because I feel like I'd be like, I'm moving, and like I remember the first time I was gonna move in January 2021. That was the first plan.
Oh my God.
And that didn't work. And
January, really?
Yeah.
And then it happened back in November as well.
Yep, that's when it opened just for 2 weeks.
Holy shnikes.
That time we even like had flights booked, we had accommodations booked, like we had everything basically ready to go, and then everything shut down again.
Great.
Yep. Yay.
Yeah. Well, but okay. So we got the history of why Kinsey wants to come, family, weebism. We've got the struggle. Like now, I think we should talk about the good part of you're fucking here. What are you gonna do? Like let's give it 3 weeks. What are you gonna do what's the first big thing you're gonna do? Big thing.
Well, I already did it. I got takoyaki and I burned the fuck out of my mouth.
Okay. I don't mean food. No, like, all right, what's the bucket list item of like, all right, I live here. Like, I got to go to Hokkaido and drink milk off of a cow's teat or whatever. Like, what's the thing?
Hokkaido's got good milk.
They do. That's why. Shout out to Hokkaido. No, but like, what's the like? Do you want to go to Okinawa and go pearl diving? I don't know. What you got?
I really want to go to Fukuoka, real bad, because like they have a really big like street food culture that I've seen so many videos on. It always looks so cool, and so I really want to do that. I really want to do the Shimanami Kaido, which is like all the bridges kind of like between the islands and the inland sea.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people bike it.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful.
Are you going to do that, Kinsey?
I want to do that. That'll be a little bit off, because not only have I not ridden a bike in a million years, but that's a really long bike ride. And I also have been working from home for a year, so I didn't do a lot of moving.
Excellent.
So I think I need to work my way up to that one.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking I could also do it by rented motorcycle, and that might be better.
Oh, yeah.
Which would also be really, really fun. And like the scenery down there is so beautiful. So it's something I really want to do.
Okay. So do you plan on getting a bicycle? Why don't we start with that?
We'll see.
Why don't we get a bicycle
See
before we're like planning this like cross, like multiple hundreds of mile trip. Like, yeah, I want to do this huge thing. I haven't ridden a bicycle in 15 fucking years. Why don't we start with that? Kyoto is a bicycle town, as you know, so that should improve things. What else? What else is on the list?
I'm
eating dolphin. Is that on there?
We'll see.
Okay.
I mean,
eating. So like, do you want like, is Okinawa on the list, or like?
I want to see like kind of everything. Like I have a short list of things that I'm like Fukuoka, Shimanami Kaido. Like I want to do all of that. I really want to explore like more of like Shikoku and more like southern Japan, and I want to see like Kumamoto and Okayama and like all of those kind of places look so beautiful. And I guess in a weird way, I'm like, I want to do everything.
Right.
And of course I want to go back to Tokyo.
Sure.
Like that's super fun. I just want to do all the things. And as far as like being in Kyoto right now, I kind of want to do all that like really touristy stuff, before the border really opens to everybody.
Yeah, you should. I've been seeing tourists. Even this morning, I saw some tourists, local as in like U.S. military types that are clearly tourists. But I've been seeing a lot more of those tourists. So I'm guessing things are gonna pick up soon because it's perfect weather time.
Yep. Because, like, last time I was here, I didn't really spend that much time in Kyoto because everything that was kind of on my list was pretty crowded.
Right.
So, like, I didn't go to Gion. I didn't do a lot of the normal, like, touristy Kyoto stuff. So, and I want to go to Fushimi Inari during the day because I've only been at night, which is rad, by the way.
Right.
It's super rad.
I've never
and it's,
been.
like,
That's
just
cool.
a little spooky.
Ooh,
It's awesome.
spooky.
And I heard the wild boars in the bushes, like, and then you're like,
I mean, like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It was
Like,
pretty fun, but I do want to go during the day because there's like a few like landing sections that have additional shrines that have like little like places you can get kitsune udon or like you can buy little charms or something like that. And when you go up at night, they're all closed, which is still cool. But I want to see that. And like my partner really didn't spend very much time in Kyoto when he was here, so he hasn't been to like Arashiyama or anything like that.
You got the whole fucking world at your fingertips over here. That's
And
really cool.
As much as I just want to be like, let's just go drink in Osaka, like,
I mean,
I really want to
Hold
do
on.
some Kyoto exploring.
no, hold on. I think viewers and listeners would all agree that you're wrong just then. Like drinking in Osaka trumps just about everything.
God, Osaka's my favorite city, and I've only been to like 5, but
Yeah. Well, it's mine too, and I live in Kyoto, and I can say Osaka is the shit.
oh, it's so fun.
It's the shit. All right, I say this all the time. I'm going to intervene here. I'm going to jump in and just say, my first time in Osaka, I was on getting off the train, just got into Osaka, and there was all these like punk rockers, like old school, huge mohawks, and one of them was throwing up right in the train station, just throwing up. And then 3 of them were smoking cigarettes in the train station. And I was just like, oh, finally I'm home.
It's like the train doors open. It's like,
no, it was like my people. Oh, like I haven't seen that since in Osaka, but it is just a little rougher, and it's just a little more
it's rougher but also friendlier.
I didn't
If
want to
that
say
makes
that.
sense.
I didn't want to say that, but
it's
it,
true.
like, yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. It feels more like New York or something, where like people are like, "Hey, get the fuck out of the way. Have a great day, man." You know? like that kind of like great attitude, but also like no nonsense.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of that shit. And people like chat you up, and that's really cool too.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Like, I guess I shouldn't say friendlier. Maybe like warmer, like more likely to talk to you and not just be like, I got my own shit to handle. I got places to be.
I mean, that's what I'm agreeing with you. Like everywhere I've gone, somebody's been like, "Hey, man, how are you?" Like that's cool to me.
Yeah.
Like, and people like smoke on the streets. I don't smoke cigs anymore, but like it's really cool in Japan where people just smoke rudely. Like every other city, that is considered rude.
Yeah.
And in Osaka, people are like, "I don't give a fuck." Like, and I like that.
Love
I
Osaka.
like that. So you're gonna be drinking in Osaka a lot. What have you done since you've arrived? I think that's really important. What's been the highlight?
Let's see. The first day, I met up with you
Right.
and your lovely partner and your adorable dog, and we got coffee, and that was fantastic.
Yes.
And after that, my partner and I went to Nishiki Market to get takoyaki. Burnt the fuck out of my mouth. Man, what else have we done? We went and had burritos yesterday, as one does in Japan. And that was great.
Yeah. So no, like, how's the drinking culture been so far? You're big into microbreweries back in the States. How has it been? Like, you've been out drinking?
Yeah, on our
Like-
second day here, we went to Kyoto Beer Lab, which is like a craft brewery, basically. But
Right.
it felt like a weird pilgrimage because I've been stalking them on Instagram for like a year.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm here.
Friendship,
That's the board they post every day with their tap list, And I was like,
yeah.
It was great. And when I was there, they have this like little dog. I don't know if it's like the owner's dog or what, but they like post a shit ton of pictures of it. And the dog came in when I was there. And the guy saw me like looking at this dog. I'm like, Tony's famous dog.
It's the famous dog.
And the guy just like brought it over and was like, do you want a pet? And I was like, yes, I do.
Friendship.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And all the beers I had there were also delicious. They had a macadamia nut brown that tasted like Hawaii.
What?
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Wait, I thought you didn't like brown ale.
I like brown ale.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. So you went there and...
Yeah, you're bad. Thought we were friends.
You are a smelly pirate.
Where else have you been? Have you been drinking anywhere else since then?
Yeah, I actually went with you and Liam, and we went to Bridge.
Yeah.
And it's over by Nijo Castle. And that was like, a real izakaya standing bar. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that place is really nice. That was my first time, but like really comfortable.
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
comfortable.
And everyone was super nice. The food was really good. Well, I guess I had French fries, but they were really good.
Yeah. And they had non-alcoholic beer, which for me, that's a great thing because I love beer and I don't drink. And not many bars have that. So I was really grateful that they had the craft non-alcoholic beer. Rarity.
Yeah.
So I was pretty fucking psyched about that shit.
I have noticed that like Japan does do a pretty good job with like non-alcoholic beer.
Sure.
Like I feel like the States is a little bit behind in that. I know that there's like 1 or 2 breweries I know of that do non-alcoholic beer like in the Pacific Northwest, but like I like that they actually do it and there's craft versions.
Sure.
And that's
there's
really
not a
awesome.
lot. There's not. I mean, like it just seems like there's a lot. There's really not. But also there doesn't need to be a lot. Like there's not a lot of people that don't drink that like craft beer. That's a small market. There's like me and like one other person I know. So it's like it's not like I personally don't think people need to catch up. I like it's fine. It's just great when there's like one. That's awesome. That's all I need.
Definitely. Yeah.
So we've known why you wanted to come. We've known the hard, arduous journey. What do you want to do with Chuhai Labs and Nasty Labs?
Well, number 1, Nasty Labs is going to keep going and only get better.
Yes.
I mean, we got a soundboard.
We have
now.
it. Hold on, that was the wrong one. I should have that. Yeah.
So I think we're going places.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, what do you want to do? Like now that let's let listeners in a little bit. What do you want to do now that you're here at the studio? How do you want to grow your career, or not, or whatever? Like, just tell, like honestly, be honest. What do you want?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
I'm just really incredibly happy to be here, meeting all of my coworkers for the first time. We're actually having our like hanami, like cherry
Today.
blossom viewing picnic basically today. So all the people who are still working remote, I finally get to meet them in person.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about that. But really, I just love so far seeing how far Chuhai Labs has come in only like the last year and a half or so.
I mean, really.
It's been amazing. Like the success of carved snowboarding and now everything with Kirsta Golf, Whitewater Wipeout, and the Playdate.
All
like,
right. I didn't
all this
mean to
cool-
do a cool.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I just feel like it's been nothing but up.
Right.
So I just want that trend to keep going and us to keep making like amazing content.
Right.
Amazingly funny content.
Okay.
I love all the silly videos that we do. I love this podcast, and I just want to see like it grow even more. And like, what's after Kirsta Golf? I don't know. It's going to be amazing. And learning more about like the production side of things, I've been really excited about, and I'm just really looking forward to the launch of Kirsta Golf. Is going to be epic.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And like people are loving it so much. And then what's next? We can only go up.
Yeah. I'm nervous because I'm nervous that like now that you're here, it's like things are going to go up, and it's like sticking the landing. Like everything has gone so well. Now we gotta do it. Continue. Yeah. It's like really hard. It's like so hard to set all this up and for you to come over here and for this. And we've been doing this podcast for a fucking year. That takes a lot of effort. And now that it's like all here, it's like, oh, now we gotta do it.
Now we gotta keep going.
And now we gotta fucking, and that's nerve wracking. I'm really excited. And like, Kinsey Burke is the shit. and her drive and her I'm gonna fucking do this right here on the show. She's the shit, and like her drive is phenomenal. And this motherfucker is probably the hardest worker that I know, and I'm really happy that you're here.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy and relieved to finally be here. Yeah. And Nasty Labs is only gonna get better.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
Yeah.
We already got some plans.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And just wait, it's gonna be great. And now it's time for the news.
Dude, hold on, you're like way more excited now that you're actually in the studio. Now it's time for the news, motherfuckers. All right, what the hell is happening in the news?
Boy, do we got some news
hit it.
for you.
All right.
So, Playdate recently announced on Twitter this week that the first batch of the highly anticipated and adorable crank-centered console is on their way to the distribution center and will be shipped out soon. Yeah. So they announced back in, what was it, November? Sure.
Okay. Thanks. Accurate news.
It's science.
No, they announced, I don't remember when, they said that the Playdate was going to be shipping early 2022. Mm-hmm. And when I hear early 2022, I think, okay, end Q1.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they are shipping it exactly end Q1. I think that they were like they probably called in lawyers and were like, how do we
under the wire?
like how do we get in this? Well, either way, I'm really pumped that the first batch is finally going to get out there, because I know that like we've had our hands on them. They work. This is not like a vaporware thing. This is like a really exciting piece of hardware, and I'm so pumped that our friends are going to get them, that fans are going to get them. My mom is an early adopter. She bought one within the first 5 minutes, so hopefully she'll get hers in the first batch. But I'm thrilled about this.
Yeah, definitely. The Playdate is so weird and quirky and fun, and people can finally play Whitewater Wipeout. And those leaderboards are just going to go crazy, and I'm going to get kicked off of it. I know, but I mean, I'm excited.
You're terrible at the game.
I'm pretty terrible.
And I'm far worse than you. I don't remember what your score was. What was the last time you checked?
I got just over 100,000.
Oh, shit. Okay, you're not as terrible as I thought. Okay, hold on.
Have you seen the top score?
What is it like?
It's like 500,000.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And it's only about to like double and triple once like everyone else gets their hands on it.
So this game is pretty fucking hard, and you either get it or you don't. And I'm in the don't side, and my score is about 10,000, and that was a struggle.
I was in that camp though for a very long time, and I spent an embarrassing amount of time trying to figure it out.
But the crazy thing is like watching our team internally play it. Everyone likes the game.
Yeah,
and
it's fun.
There's two people in particular, Charlie and Zach, that are very good at the game, and they're very competitive. I think that they're like number 2 and 3 on the leaderboards right now. Nice. They won't be forever. They're going to be long gone as soon as this thing fucking ships. But I like that it's for an audience. It's for someone. Mm-hmm. It's not for me. And that's okay. I like that it's like for people that are really into competitive shit and into like accurate gameplay.
Mm-hmm. And the awesome thing about the Playdate is because of its unique controls, like so many creative studios have made like such amazingly innovative games that I think there's honestly something for everybody. There's even like narrative games on there. There's puzzle games.
Bizarre.
There's high score chasers like ours. Like there's a little bit of everything. And it's a little tiny black and white system with a crank. And yet so much creativity has been poured into it. I cannot wait for everyone to get to try it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. That's a great piece of news.
Hell
yeah.
And the next news is a little less happy.
What is it?
So Nintendo recently announced that the Breath of the Wild sequel will be delayed until 2023.
Fatality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Producer Aonuma apologized for the delay and noted that the team is trying to make this like highly anticipated sequel something super special for Switch fans. So they really don't want to release it before it's ready because, it's very anticipated. It's following up Breath of the Wild, which we have talked about several times in this podcast on how much we love it.
Right.
So I get it. It's sad, but I get it.
Of course, both.
Yeah.
It's sad. I get it. I want to comment on something else entirely. I want to comment on the fact that he got a great haircut. I don't know if you've seen the guy, and he's definitely lost a fair amount of weight. He looks really fucking good. Hopefully I put the video footage of that up below because Aonuma, you look really, really good right now. Really handsome bastard. When I met him, he was pretending to be drunk. And he was like, yeah, no, it was really funny. He was like, I'm so drunk. And it was like at first I was buying it. But anyway, he looks really, really good. I think a lot of us predicted this. Did you? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because like honestly, we haven't seen that much at all.
Sure.
It doesn't. We're still calling it Breath of the Wild 2 / Breath of the Wild sequel. It hasn't even like its subtitle hasn't been announced yet because it's probably not Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, probably not.
So we really don't have that much information.
Well, yeah, we
so
don't know the name of the fucker. We don't know what date it's coming. Like, we don't know anything about it. Whereas we knew about Breath of the Wild for like 2 years prior. So, yowza. Yeah, I'm still looking forward to it. I mean, it's gonna be the best game.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. No matter how long I have to wait, I can't wait.
I also cannot wait. Yeah, it's I want to play that game. Do you have that on a cartridge by chance?
I think
Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I lent mine to Scott Popular in Tokyo, and that motherfucker still has my game. Dang.
Tell him he can be a guest on Nasty Labs only if he brings that.
All right, shout out to Scott Popular.
That's his ticket onto the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Fatality.
Yeah. Yeah. So either way, though, I'm still excited.
Yeah, me too. So our next bit of news is a bit of a mouthful.
Hold on.
But Kirby cafes in Japan have got a mouthful makeover with the new Kirby car cake. The new menu item comes with kiwi cream, a sprinkling of matcha powder, and a bunch of other sweet treats because it's a fucking cake. And there are currently 2 Kirby cafes, both located in Japan, one in Tokyo and one in Fukuoka. I was surprised when I looked up where the 2 were because I assumed one would be Osaka and we could like go and have this cake, but it's a lot farther away than I thought it was going to be.
Why is that?
That's a good.
I
mean, does Fukuoka have any other character cafes? I feel like they're always in Tokyo or Osaka. Almost nowhere else.
Well, I mean, logically it makes sense. Yeah. 2 biggest cities. Like, let's put it in the middle of Aichi.
Yeah.
Which Aichi, I think, does have the Dragon Quest. No, wait, that's not in Aichi. That's in. Anyway, but so my point was lost is basically what I'm getting at. Okay, well, are you going to go?
Probably not because it's so limited that by the time I make it over there, it's some other game, which is fine.
Perfect.
But I think that at least the Kirby cafes, so in Japan, there is like a decent amount of like themed cafes. Some of the ones like the Kirby Cafe or the Pokemon Cafe, occasionally they are limited. So they're not around forever. They're like more like a pop-up. But I believe, allegedly, the Kirby cafes are like kind of there to stay because they've been around for quite a while. Last time I was in Japan, I just couldn't get a reservation, so it's been around. Okay. And they also always do like burgers where like the bun's pink and it's Kirby's cute little face.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like character cafes though; they're hella cute. I went to the Pokemon Cafe.
Jesus Christ!
It was good.
You are a smelly pirate.
I ate Eevee's face. It was fantastic.
Have you been to the Final Fantasy ones? Have you been to the?
I went to the Square Enix Cafe when it was World Ends With You.
Okay.
And
really?
Yeah.
Huh?
It was in 2019.
The World Ends With You was a fucking DS game, bruh.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It was weird. I walked in, I was like, oh, what's the theme going to be? And I was like, World Ends With You.
Yeah!
What day is it? Like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So I do want to try this cake because it looks adorable. It's just him. And I hope you like cut it open and then you can see how he drives the car.
Hey.
Because how does he drive it? Is he does he have creepy little arms on the inside on the steering wheel? Or like,
that's
what?
Disgusting to even think about.
You open it up and there's like tentacles.
That's pretty cool.
Fatality.
Yeah. So if you're in Tokyo, mail us one.
Excellent.
Yep, do that. Yep.
Okay.
And I feel like the news this week is kind of a roller coaster because the next one is also not great. the ESA recently announced, actually this morning, as of this recording,
Right.
the ESA recently announced that E3 2022 is officially canceled, both digital and in person. But supposedly it will be back in 2023, but because of COVID and everything, like, E3 has had a hard couple years.
Right.
But I am a little bit surprised. Granted, I don't know the ins and outs of, like, the actual, like, contracts with the venue and all of
Sure.
that, but like our last couple news on events were all events coming back. And so
Right.
it's kind of interesting to have such a turn to be like, oh, Bit Summit's coming back. Tokyo Game Show's coming back. We're having
Right.
all these things coming back and the world's coming back and we're all so excited. Oh, E3, one of the biggest events of the entire year is canceled, both digital and in person.
Yeah, there's so much to think about and talk about on this one. I don't know, man. It's confusing. Do you think GDC had anything to do with this? GDC being like a super spreader event. Do you think it was that?
It could be because
I doubt it, but I'm
GDC,
just
like just ended, like
Right.
last week. So it could be they're like, well, that's how that went.
right.
Maybe, who knows? But a lot of these venue things, they're put in place so early in advance. Like,
That's true.
I feel like if E3 was going to be in the summertime, like it always is in June, like it would have contracts would already have been signed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's April. I mean, it's just right
Yeah.
around the corner. Like, I'm sure. I mean, there's probably a lot of force majeure in contracts that are like. I'm sure a lot of these mega companies, like let's just say, I don't know who even goes to E3 anymore. Nintendo doesn't. Let's say Xbox. They probably have some force majeure thing in their contract that's like, if the pandemic is still going on, we can pull out.
yeah.
And I bet a lot of these companies were like, we can't do it. This is this is too risky for our. It's not money. It's more of like our.
Like their people. And
It's probably optics. Let's
Yeah.
be realist. Real is real. It's probably optics.
And like with Sony having their PlayStation State of Play and all
Right.
of these companies kind of taking digital events into their own hands, does E3 need to even exist digitally? So, everyone's kind of already got their shit figured out.
Yeah, E3 is kind of behind the times in a lot of ways
Yeah.
because all these other events are kind of superseding with like Summer Games Fest and Digital Day of the Devs and Guerrilla Collective and the mix, and I mean we could just go
It's a
on
good
and
time
on
for
and
indie
on.
games right
Yeah, I mean it really is like the not first party but AAA, they don't know what to do, and the indie games are finally knowing what to do. It's kind of weird.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Indie game.
Yeah. I mean, I like both.
I do. I mean, when you look at our like what up section, a lot of the times it's a AAA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we love games.
Yeah. I mean, I personally feel like I play a lot more indie games than I do mega AAA stuff, but I like AAA. I like the concept of, I want them to exist.
Yeah.
And they also give like lots of our friends jobs,
Oh,
like tons and
yeah.
tons of our friends. And like one Ubisoft game is going to employ like 800 people. So I want them to exist. I want things like E3 to help facilitate them, but
It'll be back, supposedly.
fingers crossed. I mean, it's too big of a brand to just let go.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, they'll sit it out for like 2 years or whatever, and then come back even bigger than before, or just rebrand it altogether. Like every one of these events does that. They're not going to let go of this is an IP. E3 is an IP.
Essentially, yeah.
Like-
And so E3 2023, Chuhai Labs, coming for you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Explode When Defeated presents something really neat and full of meat.
Those children aren't going to protect themselves in a brand new podcast series about everyone's favorite giant reptile.
Godzilla?
No, we already did that one.
Rodan?
Nope, we did that one too.
Gorgo?
Gamera. We're talking about Gamera.
From turtles to medieval samurai golems on our new series, Demolition D.
Only on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your Discord questions. If you ever want to ask us a question that we will probably answer on the podcast, just go on over to the Chuhai Labs
Jesus
Discord.
Christ. Wow, that was like your worst intro ever.
rough.
Like you were just like thinking about something else. You were just like, "Hey, if you ever just what is going on over here?" And like, Kinsey, what? Hit us with that first question.
First question.
Yeah.
What is the craziest concert or event you ever attended or performed in?
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's okay. I have two, and I'll be really quick. Acid Mother's Temple. It's a Japanese band that I've only seen in Japan once, but I've seen them 9 times.
Dang.
They are the shit. They're like 7 dudes with super long beards, really long hair, and when you hear them, you hear what God sounds like. You meet angels. It's psychedelic rock, and it just goes on and on and on and on. But one time I saw them, and from the rafters, from the sky, arrived a dance group. They were called the Antibodies Collective, and they were. That's a good name. You didn't see this coming, and from the sky on ropes arrived 50 naked people dancing in the air, wieners
galore.
Yeah, everywhere, and they were covered in like white paint, and it was just a very, very bizarre, and it was so fucking beautiful. I don't need to see dongs and vaginas, but like. It was beautiful. It was like pure art, and it was fucking amazing. That was one of them. I'm gonna blast through this next one. Pixies, 2004. I was at the very front, in front of Kim Deal, who was she was super cool, and I got the set list. The bass tech handed it to me. Now hold on. A woman next to me grabbed it from my hands and ripped it out of my hands. And said, that's mine, motherfucker. And, well, she got most of it. And I still have La La Love You. That's on the piece of paper. And This Monkey's Gone to Heaven. That's the 2 songs that are on my set list. But fuck that lady. But also it was a great show, and I've been to a lot of concerts. You've been to even more concerts. What's the craziest one?
I was trying to think about the craziest one, and I want to say, like, when I was in high school, I didn't go to a lot of punk shows at first because I grew up in like a very small town.
Right.
And so we went to this punk show because the way I could talk my parents to let me go is that it was at the local water park.
Good.
Which is like the most punk venue.
Right.
But it was at the local water park, sponsored by a radio station. And so I got to go, and it was really fun. But it was so weird because it was like the weirdest place for a punk show. But it was like Goldfinger.
Ooh.
And I think the opener was the Vines.
Oh, shit.
And then
wow, cool.
there was one other band that I cannot remember. But like... It was hilarious because let's just say it said first annual water park punk. You know, it never happened again. And it was little things like never going to a punk show and having a dad there with like their like little kid. And they were like, "Can you take a picture of us?" And I was like, "Of course." And then it was like him and his daughter was probably like 2.
Right.
And when I was like, "Ready?" and they're like, "We're down, Middleburg," and I was like, "Tight." You know?
That's really cool.
But then I don't really remember what band it is. I want to say it was Goldfinger at the time, but it was like things are getting a little out of hand.
Okay.
So it was getting real fun. And I was down in the pit, and which we kept getting yelled at by security guards because there wasn't supposed to be a pit.
Right.
Because it's at the water park.
Yes, I'm trying to imagine where the hell the stage is. Where's the stage on a water park?
It was at the water park.
Are you in water?
We're not in the water. That would be fucking sweet. And I probably would have drowned. But like next to the water park, still in the park itself, there was just like this like fake amphitheater made out of grass thing, so you could like all sit on this big hill kind of thing. And then they had the stage at the bottom by the wave pool. Right. And while things were getting a little bit crazy when the last band was on, like the drummer gets up, he pulls his pants down.
Good start.
And someone else in the band puts a Twinkie in the guy's butt cheek.
Oh, this is great.
And they were like, "Who's gonna eat it?" And of course, people are like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And like some random guy went up and just ate a Twinkie out of this guy's butt crack. And I was like, "This is punk rock."
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good.
And then all the bands and the radio station were never invited back.
Yeah, obviously. They still probably made a lot of money, but they had to clean up that shit. That's a good story. I like that.
Pretty good. So next question is, I like how they started with question. Will the podcast start occurring more frequently now that Kinsey is in Japan and there's not a crazy time difference to deal with anymore? Also, congratulations on the move to Japan, kids. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
you.
That was Alex Kind of Cares. He's going to be getting a cassette of my band because he thanked me about my music from the previous one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
That's a really good question that we probably should have talked about like before this. But
yeah.
you know what? Here we are. So
I say yeah.
I mean,
Fuck
it can now. Yeah.
Fuck
I mean,
it.
right now it's every 2 weeks.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, dude. Alex wins, dude. Like that's what I think.
Sure.
Science.
Is Nasty Labs going to be weekly? You know what? We'll figure it out. And then if you start seeing more, then thank you, Alex. Next question. It's for me.
Uh-huh.
What does the office smell like?
That's got to be weird. Uh-oh.
I probably shouldn't say.
I mean, you probably should.
I'm like,
Oh, no.
actually, right now, I only smell that there's a heater on, to be fair.
Okay.
But
I mean, it can smell like dudes.
it occasionally smells like dudes. But sometimes I also get the, like, whiff of, like,
Uh-oh.
it's, like, either just, like, dudes, but, like, not in a bad way. You guys
Dudes.
aren't smelly yet. It's not summertime. But it's either just, like, dude standard smell, or it's, like, I'll just get, like, a whiff of, like, cologne.
Oh, yeah. That's a Liam
Yeah.
thing right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
every so often I'm like,
Yeah. Like, all right, a little tone it down there, buddy.
love you, Liam.
Yeah.
Next question's for Mark.
Yeah.
What's something you've wanted to do in Japan since before you moved there, but haven't done yet?
Oh, easy. I want to get my snorkeling license in Okinawa.
That's up. You have to get a snorkeling license.
Sorry, did I say snorkeling? I meant scuba.
I was like,
Yeah, my snorkeling license. No,
I know
scuba.
Japan
Scuba.
bureaucracy.
Scuba. No, but you do need a license for scuba, and I want to do that.
did I ever tell you that I did scuba in Hawaii and in the Pacific Northwest?
Really?
And I did my open water diver, my advanced open water diver.
You did not tell me any of this. I didn't know you were a strong swimmer, let alone
a certified rescue diver.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No.
I owned all my own gear.
Hold on.
Douchebag.
Wow. No, you didn't tell me literally a
And
single
I
part
used
of
to,
this.
one of my many jobs that I've had was
Yes.
I worked in a dive shop.
Perfect. Now, how? Okay. No, this is cool. This is okay. So you have your open water, like, wow.
I mean, it doesn't really expire,
Right.
but it was a long time ago.
Sure. But you had all your own gear, all your own scuba gear.
Yep.
Wow.
It's pretty rad. Scuba's fun.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's why I want to do it.
And especially in Okinawa, I'm sure it's like absolutely beautiful. And I did
Yeah.
it both in Hawaii and in Seattle, where it is very cold.
I mean, it's cold. It'll be cold in Okinawa. It'll be fucking cold.
It's cold. And
It's the
cold underwater.
Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. Let's throw that over to you. What if something you wanted to do? What's up?
I want to do all the things, basically.
All right.
I know it's a cop-out answer, but
All right, do you want to go scuba diving?
hell yeah. Let's
Okay.
go scuba. Let's do Nasty Labs recording underwater.
All right. Oh, you know what? I got one more for Steven here. I got. I also there's a place in Hyogo that does parachuting, and I had a reservation to do that a couple months ago, but due to COVID, it got canceled. I want to learn how to do that as well. I want to get my solo jump license.
That's awesome.
In addition to
And for
scuba.
someone who doesn't like flying, I'm very surprised you want to jump out of a plane.
So okay, that's a great point. I am not afraid of single engine planes. Like for whatever reason,
I feel like they're scary.
they should be. They're louder. They're like
They're
a lot more of that. But like for what you're wearing headphones, you're talking to the person. I don't know. It's a lot more comforting. It's not like you're talking to the pilot. Like
yeah, and distracting him. He is flying a plane.
well, no, he's texting and flying. That's what he's really doing. No, for whatever reason, I don't like. That seems really. it's not safer. It's much more dangerous. But for whatever reason, it feels safer. It's kind of like how some people don't like to fly and they're okay with driving, even though driving is way more dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, it's because you feel like you're part of it, I guess.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Nasty That's Podcast, 1 year anniversary. I'm finally in Japan. We are recording together in the same time zone. This is amazing.
Flawless victory.
Pretty sweet. And as always, Carve Snowboarding is out on Oculus Quest right now.
Yeah.
Halloween Forever is out on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And as always, Curse to Golf, wishlist it right now on Steam.
Yeah, you can get the demo probably. We like we said early in the episode, we're not totally sure if it's still available. But
And if it's not there, go to those events we talked about.
yeah,
earlier.
and wishlist it anyway, and send us emails about how you're having a good day. Also, and send us emails about the worst lines you could possibly find of Kinsey, so I can add it to the soundboard. All right. This is a recording of Kinsey, though. She, her first day, she was just letting him fly.
I'm telling you, jet lag.
yeah, jet lag.
It's trouble on the system.
Right.
Mark Lentz, where can people find you on the
You can
internet?
find me at twitter.com/thehenrydemos, Kinsey Burke.
You can find me at Kinzilla, Kinzilla, on all the things, and Chew High Labs, of course. Follow Chew High Labs. All the things. We're mostly on Twitter, but all the things.
All the things.
And a big thank you to the HyperX Podcast Network for being a sponsor. And thanks to all of you for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Hell
Bye.
yeah.